We are here. Lord Mayor, maybe just for your information, we had a meeting yesterday where we wanted to kickstart what we agreed, such that today when we come back, we should be able to get a feedback from the technical team, because we had a meeting with the finance and the ED, plus the ministers. Of course, at the end of the day, all of us here seated want to solve a problem. There's a problem that must be solved. People may look at it legally, but where there was an executive directive which said that all these people should work. You said, Wanawakole. Wanawakole. So it is our responsibility to ensure that, one, the city that we are living in is clean. The people that we employed as KCCA are paid. It's their right to get payment. 3, we must make sure that we find money as government to ensure that these people are paid. We need stability. And truth be told, these people have done a very good job. Very good job. When you pass in the streets of Kampala, Kampala is really clean. But at the same time, these people go through a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. You find women sweeping as early as 4. Just imagine the danger that it comes with. So it's just good for us to have that empathy, to have these people paid. So we had a meeting and we really moved. We moved and we would want to get a feedback from the executive director on how far we moved yesterday and inform the House the progress as of now, such that as we live here, we will be speaking one word. No business of us politicking in this thing. All we want is we want people to be paid. These people vote for all of us. These people are either our mothers, our daughters, our wives, husbands, or whichever. We want these people to be paid. And I want to thank you, Lord Mayor, the other day when we joined together to address these people. It is not about politics. For us, it is about humanity. We are in these positions for us to be able to serve humanity, and that's that. Chief Executive?
Following the meeting that we had yesterday, we went ahead and sat with senior management and we agreed to take 4 actions to ensure that we move forward proactively. The first action, maybe let me back up and say, we made an attempt to have the verification exercise of the payroll yesterday, but it aborted. It did not take off. For one reason or the other, it did not take off. So we reflected on that and agreed that we should do these 4 things. One is that we should conduct a comprehensive verification exercise for the payroll at the division level where the people work, because most of our workers come from the divisions they work. So the verification should be at the division level for 2 consecutive days. Day 1 will conduct for the 1 circle. We have 2 circles, Community Circle and 7 Hills. Day 1 will be for 1 type of circle, and day 2 will be for another circle. We propose for this exercise to commence on Monday, 11th March. However, and this is the action 2, we propose that there will be a comprehensive sensitization at all levels of leadership. That includes the city leaders, right from the ministers, the Lord Mayor and the mayors, the resident city commissioners, the town clerks, the executive committees of the circles, the highest level of leadership of all these circles, including opinion leaders. There will be a comprehensive sensitization exercise so that we all understand what is going on and what needs to be done. We propose that this sensitization begins effective on Wednesday and goes on until we start the exercise. That's tomorrow, yes. The third action is that the KCCA should immediately commence payment of any outstanding arrears to the SACCOs. We should use the available funds, and as a technical team, we've said we'll start this effective tomorrow to commence these payments. The final action, which you started on, Right Honorable Speaker, is to liaise with the Ministry of Finance, the PSST, and we have already done that, so that the needed funds to implement the presidential directive of Wonabakole is fulfilled. So we've worked out those details, and supported by the verification exercise and the outcomes, we'll be able to tell exactly what is needed. One more thing is that we underscored is that in our payments as KCCA, there will be no payments to SACCOs until the verification exercise. Apart from these outstanding arrears, we shouldn't have any more payments until the verification is successfully done and everybody is on board with the outcomes of the verification. That's what we have done, Right Honorable.
And maybe what we could also add is that, as you said previously, when you are budgeting as that was a development expenditure, whereas it's supposed to be a recurrent expenditure. So in this new budget that we are going into, we change from development to current, such that, because you know very well that current can never be delayed to be released. And the delay of the release is basically because you budgeted for it as a development expenditure. So we could check on that and make sure that we change it to recurrent.
I take note, right?
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Once again, we appreciate your indulgence to have this matter one way or the other resolved. It's been an enigmatic problem to us for a very long time. For us, we have been at it for the last 1 year, ever since we embarked on the process of implementing the scheme we put in place, the reservation scheme. But what baffles me, Right Honorable Speaker, is that personally I'm getting this statement here, with all due respect to the ED, which is I find quite irregular, because if it's one institution, we have the minister, you have the Lord Mayor, you have the executive director, and we have all these other leaders. I am even struggling to jot down what the ED is explaining, which is really very, very unfortunate. At least, with all due respect to ED and the team, I should have been favored with a copy if I did not participate in the process of authoring the same. Should have been our position. It's very, very unfortunate now it comes as a position of management, which we have not addressed uniformly as an institution. Having said that, Right Honorable Speaker, I'm again worried because the proposals made do not tackle the gist of the problem. The gist of the problem. We need to address it. Right Honorable Speaker, we have a reservation scheme that we made as an institution, as the guiding legal framework. I'm glad in your communication you indicated that there are some legal issues, and this has not been resolved. I would like to share with you a copy of this reservation scheme if you have not gotten a copy, Right Honorable Speaker, for your information. That legal framework was meant to guide the whole process. Unfortunately, Right Honorable Speaker, in the process of awarding contracts, the institution or management, to be specific, deviated from that policy. And that has caused all these problems. If we had complied with that policy, we wouldn't be where we are now. It was very, very clear that we divide Kampala into 10 constituencies or units, and each circle would operate within that particular locality. and we would give out bids for the 3 clusters of the services: cleaning, desilting, and landscaping. But the 2 clusters were bundled into one. Cleaning and desilting, they were bundled into one lot as per the last page of that particular policy. And we agreed and said, look, we are going to have 20 lots. If there are 10 units in the city, we have 20 lots. Let's be fair to all these people. Unfortunately, Right Honorable Speaker, and this is now the crux of the problem, 7 Hills got 15 out of 20. And these 15 constituencies or lots which they got, to be honest, they did not have members. They did not have sweepers. Up to now, Right Honorable Speaker, I'm shocked the ED is still talking about a verification exercise. Up to this particular moment, no one has clear figures of how many they are. 2, for the circles, we agreed and said, let's conduct verification. Yes. And it was done, an audit was done, and we were told they were established to be 3,045 or 3,085, whichever the number is. But at least an audit was conducted. And we thought on that premise they would be paid. We got shocked again yesterday to hear that they have been assembled, they have been called to assemble at OD Kampala for another verification, which the ED says aborted. And then their counterparts in 7 Hills were called at Stay Hall. And honestly speaking, I don't know the games being played here. I really don't understand. You wonder what reason were they called? The very day the Honorable Speaker called for a meeting for consultation, again you call for these members to come for a verification exercise in a playground like Odi Kampala. I imagined and said, if you have 5,000, how are you going to do it? So why I'm very skeptical about these proposals, Right Honorable Speaker? The meetings I've presided over, quite a number of proposals have come up. I want to conclude the point about deviation from the scheme, because we had 2 options. Since there had been that violation of the scheme, the legal framework, for us, we were pushing for cancellation of the contracts to 7 Hill. And we are firm on it. But we explained and appreciated the explanation of the ED, the ramifications, the implications of cancellation. Then we said, okay, if we cannot cancel, how do we have these people accommodated? Now, this is the genesis of that phenomenon, Madam Speaker, of Bonabakole. These people of 7 Hill were very arrogant. They said, for us, we can only accommodate 10% of the old circles. He said, but who are you? Then somehow they relaxed and said, okay, 30%. Then we understand that's how it went to State House. And that's where the executive directive came up and said 100% absorption. Then we said, no, it has to be harmonization. These circles are independent of each other. I'm afraid, Madam Speaker, and I want to be on record, there is a systematic move to phase out the old circles. Those old women you are talking about, those old women. And some of our colleagues have not been ingenious enough. They have been disingenuous. I'm sorry to say this. We demanded for a harmonization, and it was very simple. Bring a harmonization mechanism for these circles, the community circles, to be able to work alongside with the 7 Hills, but pursuing different lanes with their mode of payment and so on and so forth. To cut the long story short, Madam Speaker, my worry is twofold now. There is no clear legal framework, and we shall go back and they will tell you these people have no contracts. The talk within 7 Hills and some of the members of management is that 7 Hills have contracts, and they are very arrogant that they have contracts. So those other people, what do they have? They have no legal basis to make any claim. That is the argument. So we had proposed in the meeting we had at Fairway, and I must commend my brother here, the Honorable Nsereka and the Honorable Balimwezi, who were there. After a long day deliberation, we agreed that the community circles be given temporary contracts at least to be able to secure their work, to guarantee their work. I've not seen it here in the proposal made by the ED that they are going to be given contracts. So I thought by the time we come here, they should be having contracts, but they have none. Two, and the last one, Madam Speaker, because I said my word is twofold. Two, the payment for the areas. It's going to be déjà vu because all along they have been asking, the payroll is there. Their payroll is there, Madam Speaker. And the Directorate of Treasury has always been asking, okay, I have the payroll here. Now, on which legal instrument am I effecting payment? Now, when I hear the word payment will commence tomorrow, commencing, I thought we were in a digital era. Madam Speaker, I thought when members are being paid and they have a payroll, it's just pressing a button like now, if I'm here and I'm to pay 5,000, I press one. I thought that is the system. And what I expected here, with all due respect for my dear sister, the ED here, to say, this afternoon I'm pressing the button, all of them are going to be paid. Because yes, it's as simple as that. But to say they are going to line up, I'll tell you, Madam Speaker, I'll tell you this, and I want to be on
Maybe
record.
just a clarification.
Yes.
Do they pay individual people or they pay to the circle?
For the community circles, there is a payroll which comes, and the monies are affected through circles, but to the individuals.
Yes.
It goes out to the individuals. But for the case of 7 Hills, they are saying for them they're independent contractors. It's a company. They don't even want to audit the numbers they have, even to get to know their members. So what they do, and this is what I wanted to disclose to you, Madam Speaker, they have an account in Equity Bank. These leaders, they go there and withdraw money in sacks. The leaders of 7 Hills. And they begin paying whoever they deem fit. They say, I'll pay you. And the payments vary. Yesterday, they were mobilizing each of them, giving them 5,000, 2,000, what, so that they can come and... So that's how they conduct business. And we're not going to be intimidated. We're not going to be intimidated by 7 Hills because they mobilize like that, they pay. It's just handouts for them. They withdraw money in sacks. And that is the problem. So I'm worried I've not had any concrete and crystallized commitment that this afternoon they are going to be paid. This is a one-day affair. So, and this exercise, Madam Speaker, I'm sorry I'm taking a bit long, but just the very last one. I'm again very skeptical about this verification exercise. Starting with the sensitization, what do I need to be sensitized about that we're going to be sensitized tomorrow? What do I need to be sensitized about? So why don't we effect payment for all the areas, give these people temporary contracts, and the rest will be worked out, the rest of the modality, because those are the two issues. The contracts to be renewed and the payments for the areas, and that can be done in one day.
Lord Mayor, maybe to start with this letter, these resolutions, this is an internal thing that you need to go back and resolve as KCCA. I don't want to be the one to chair a meeting where you come up with the solutions. Mine was on one. We must have, in this meeting, we must have the immediate solutions to solve this problem. The immediate solution that we want, and which the Lord Mayor has also echoed, is on the immediate payment of these people. For him, he says it's just pressing the button. Let's have these people paid. It looks ugly when we have these people in the streets. Too ugly. And let's have them paid. You say you have 2 circles, the community circle and then the 7 Hills. If the 7 Hills are also demanding, let everybody be brought to zero. We clear all the areas. When you hear what Lord Mayor is talking about, the issue of how the Seven Hills are behaving, I think that's where it calls in for a verification. How many are these people? Are they really the real people that we are talking about? And the leadership where they start picking money and giving people for them not to talk, those are things that must be controlled. And then we look at the medium issue of resolving the legal aspect. The legal aspect of having these people have contracts. Because tomorrow you will fail to pay them, and what will they use to claim for money? Even if they went to the streets, they will pour tear gas on them and whichever get out. But if they have a contract with the KCCA, they will have a basis of claiming for money from you, and of course solving the governance issues. I told you how the leaders wanted to come and meet me, and we said, let's meet the real people. The real people who do the sweeping, because the leaders are the ones who will start carrying money and denying these people money. So you need to solve the governance issue. You need to have the contracts for these people. And then, of course, you need the long-term issues where you will now address the management of the casual laborers. Now you know it is not anything that should be discussed at the speaker every time, and the Lord Mayor will be there to cushion the technical team. No. Do your work. We are not going to be the ones firefighting with the members of parliament. We will not do that. Please, I want you to do your work, and then we move on. Yes. And then, of course, when you look at what Lord Mayor, I want to beg for your indulgence in this, plus the members of parliament. Now let's first solve the short-term issues, which is payment, and then the medium term. Medium term, in that, we need to know which people are we paying. The verification of these people. We need to have that done. Like you say, it should be done on 11. You will find some other people who are not working coming on board and saying we are here to do the work. So let's solve the short and medium term. Yes.
Claims to already be in possession of contracts. That is 7 Hill. For them, they claim they have contracts. And the verification is going to proceed on that premise that they have contracts. Now, how about the community circles who do not have contracts for the time being? That's why we had suggested, as the verification exercise goes on, because they are on the payroll, let them be given short-term contracts.
My thinking is, first of all, what we need to do, pay them for what they have done. And that is stipulated in the Constitution under Article 40. Pay them for what they have done. Verify whether the people that you're paying are the same people in that community circle, and those are the people you're giving the contracts.
Right, Honorable Speaker, we have a problem here, and I'm sorry to keep coming in. This verification exercise is being abused. Actually, it's being used as an exercise to compel members of the community circle to forcefully join 7 Hills. Why all the Kampala aborted? The forms they brought, and I have a copy, for the community circles that they should register as 7 Hill members. And that is problematic.
Honorable members and the ED, the technical team, Honorable Minister, I don't think it is right for you to force a person to join what he or she does not want. If these people prefer being on their own, let them be. If the 7 Hills are on their own, divide Kampala. Kampala is too big. Say, let the 7 Hills work in this area, let the community circle work in the other area, let another one work here. It is very simple as that. Let's not tag people into an association that they don't want. You're dealing with the women, and I don't know where all of you were the other day. I wish you had come to see those women there. You're all mothers. You would not even want to look at them. Those are your wives, those are your daughters, those are your sisters. And you want to bundle them with the other people? Please let those people remain where they are. The 7 Hills also remain where they are. They work, they all do the work, and they are paid according to what they do. Yes.
Of the petitioners and the members of parliament for constituencies in Kampala. The Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament convened a meeting on 5th of March 2024 in the Speaker's boardroom with the leadership of KCCA, the representatives of the petitioners and members of Parliament representing constituencies in Kampala to devise immediate, medium and long-term solutions to the challenges afflicting management of casual laborers under Kampala Capital City Authority. The following resolutions were agreed on. 1. Immediate solutions. The payment of outstanding arrears to the casual laborers to be effected on Wednesday, 6th of March 2024. 2. The verification of casual laborers to commence on 11th of March 2024. 3. After the verification exercise, short-term contracts to be awarded to casual laborers by 15th March 2024 to enable their employment relationship with their circles and the KCCA. 4. There should be proper delineation and clarification. No, there should be proper delineation and clarity of roles without any overlap. The enforcement function should be executed in line with the relevant laws and procedures with the due regard to human rights and dignity. 5. The full release of the approved budget of KCCA should be pursued with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. As for the medium-term solutions, continuous verification of casual laborers as number 1. 2. Effective contracting of the casual laborer function. And 3. Proper budgeting of labor-related costs as recurrent expenditure. Long-term solutions, I think it's only 1. Efficient and effective management of casual laborers in the Kampala capital city. That is the document we have executed. Thank you. Koluyitiddwa office ya speaker era olutudde wano olwetabiddwamu Minister wa Kampala, olwetabiddwamu bammemba ba parliament abakiikirira constituencies eza Kampala, era olutuliddwamu abakulembeze ba KCCA, political ne management or technical. Lukanyiza ku bino wammanga. Ekisooka, arrears oba ensimbi zonna ez'abakajo ezibanjibwa zisasulwe olunaku olw'enkya nga 6. Number 2, okukola verification okuba casual laborers oba abakozi baffe, okwekenneenya enkalala ez'abakozi baffe bonna abali mu casual employment abakola mu cleaning kugenda kukolebwa okutandika ng'ennaku z'omwezi 11 omwezi ogwokusatu. Era oluvannyuma lw'okukola exercise eyo obutasukka nga 15 omwezi guno, ba casual laborers baweebwe contracts ezijja okuyambako okuddukanya emirimu gyabwe n'okutereeza employment yaabwe mu mateeka wakati wa KCCA ne SACCOs zaabwe. So contracts ezo zijja kubaweebwa obutasukka ennaku z'omwezi 15 omwezi ogwokusatu. Ku side ya emirimu engeri gye gigenda okukolebwamu kye tuyise proper delineation of functions and roles, nti abali mu cleaning n'abali mu enforcement bategeerekeke bulungi era nga tewaliwo kye tuyita overlap ey'emirimu egyo nti ono aswapinga nadde eno n'eri. Era ekyo nga kikolebwa mu nkola eri mu mateeka agafuga ekitongole n'emirimu gya KCCA. Mu ngeri y'emu
era ng'emirimu egyo girina okukolebwa egy'enforcement ng'eddembe ly'obuntu likulembezeddwa nga tewali kutulugunya bantu mu mbeera yonna. Kisembayo nti ekyokufuulirizinga ssente zonna ezeetaagisa okuba nga emirimu gy'abakozi bano gitambula, Ministry of Finance, Physical Planning and Economic Ministry of Finance ne Planning naki egenda kulaba nga ebikolako wamu ne Parliament okulaba nga ensimbi ezimala okukola ku mirimu gino zivaayo. Ebyo bye bigenda okukolebwako mu kaseera kano akaliwo akatono, naye ebiri mu medium term ne long term mu maaso awo ekifaananyi ekigazi kyekyokugamba nti tubenga nga twetegereza enkalala z'abakozi bano ku saidi zonna, oba ba 7 Hill oba ba community sacco, enkalala ziterezebwe bulungi, buli omu amanyibwe ani yaani, era n'emirimu girongere okukola ki okuterezebwa bulungi. Then netugamba effective contracting of casual laborers function, nti maaso awo gye bujja tujja kutuulanga ekitongole okulaba nga tutereeza contracts zonna ezikwatagana n'ebyokuyonja ekibuga, nga tumaliriza zino short term contracts. Then bwe tuddayo mu kukola contracts empya, buli obumulumulu byonna obubaddewo bulabwe nga butunuulibwamu. Then nekisembayo proper budgeting of labor related costs as recurrent expenditure, nti okulaba nti Parliament etuyambako mu kutereeza bajeti yaffe ebadde, kubanga wabaddewo embeera ey'okubanga terambuluddwa bulungi mu recurrent ne development ku side eno, so nga kijja kwetaaga Parliament ekirongooseemu eno gye tuyita recurrent oba ey'emirimu egy'olukale egya bulijjo etereezebwe bulungi, then basobole okubanga abakozi basasulwa bulungi era mu budde. Long term kyekyokutereeza butya bwe tugenda okumanaginga ba casual laborers. Omwo mulimu ebintu bingi, contracts zaabwe, emirimu gyabwe bagenda ogikola, ne remuneration omusaala gwabwe kuba katutunula n'akasaala ke bafuna katono katunulibwamu katya, n'ebirala ebigenderako nga ebintu bye bakozesa, equipment, protection gear n'ebirala byonna ebyo tugenda kuddayo ng'ekitongole tubitunulemu nga tutuula mu nkiiko ezaffe eza bulijjo okulaba nga byonna bitereera, n'ebiri short term bye tukanyizaako byo bikolebwe mu timelines ezo ezoogeddwako. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala.